Bal Gangadhar Tilak once said, Swaraj is my birthright and I shall have it. Good afternoon, affectionate Toastmasters and amicable guests. I am Toastmaster Shaborni and I am the Sergeant at Arms for the afternoon. I welcome you all to the 126th meeting of VirtuoMasters Toastmasters Club and 97th meeting of Central Noida Toastmasters Club. Can we have a huge round of applause for this joint meeting? To have a smooth meeting, we have some ground rules. Please put yourself on mute when you are not speaking. Do not write anything inappropriate in the chat box. If your video is on, make sure you sit in a proper upright position. We do not talk about sex, religion, or politics in a derogatory manner. I would request you to kindly put your phone on silent mode so that you don't get distracted during the meeting. Now, I would like to hand over the podium to someone who is a versatile speaker, someone who does even the smallest of work with all the earnestness, and an ingenuous person. He is none other than the president of VirtuoMasters Toastmasters Club. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Anurag.
Thank you, Toastmaster Saboni, for such a wonderful introduction. Can we have a huge round of applause for our Sergeant at Arms for the evening? Friends, 75 years ago, we achieved independence, freedom from slavery, tyranny, and injustice. But years later, we are still being enslaved. We are being enslaved by our modern lifestyle. We have become so engrossed in this rat race that unhealthy practices have become a norm for us. Our Independence Day, on this Independence Day, let us take inventory of what bad habits we have inculcated. Spending too much time on this cell phone, maybe binge watching, eating unhealthy food, sleeping late, inactive lifestyle. And on this day, we should take a pledge for our own betterment so that we remove these bad habits one by one and become free in the truest sense of word. In health, there is freedom. Health is the first of all liberty. And this Independence Day, let us promise ourselves to get rid of our bad habits. And on this note, I start the 126th meeting of VirtuoMasters Club and 97th meeting of Central Noida Toastmasters Club with a small clap. And I welcome you all in today's meeting. I hope you all enjoy the session. Before I hand over the podium to our Toastmaster of the day, I would like to acknowledge the presence of distinguished Toastmaster Abhinav Bardwaj, who is currently the Associate Program Quality Director of SLP 2022 and Associate Club Growth Director of District 41. Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Abhinav, for joining us in today's session. I would also like to take some guest introduction. I think we have Yashwini. Can I please ask Yashwini to please unmute herself and give a bit introduction about who she is?
Yes. My name is Yashwini Basudia. I live in Indore. I consider myself punctual, hardworking, and honest because I believe in life. If you want to grow, one should breathe these qualities. I worked in the BPO sector for around 1.5 years, and because of my qualities, I was awarded Best Employee of the Month in August 2021. If I talk about my hobbies, so my hobbies are I enjoy cooking and I love dancing. Dancing is totally stress buster for me. I forget every worldwide problems. It's all about me. Thank you.
Thank you, Yashwini. I hope you enjoy our today's meeting.
Yes.
Next, I also have, I think so, Ashish. So Ashish, can you please unmute yourself and give a bit of a brief introduction about yourself? Ashish? Ashish Harbhajan ka? Hello, can you hear me? Am I audible? Yes. Okay,
Yes, yes.
I think so. Ashish is not able to hear me, but that's all right. With this, I would like to hand over the podium to one of the most assiduous person I have ever come across. She's one of the most creative person as well. She's a chartered accountant by profession, but an ardent and dedicated Toastmaster by passion. And I would like to hand over this podium to our wonderful, wonderful Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Shalu.
Thank you,
Can we have a
Toastmaster.
huge round of applause?
Thank you, Toastmaster Anurag, for the lovely introduction. Good evening, fellow Toastmaster and dear guests. As all of you know, we are going to celebrate our 75th year of independence. 15th August 1947 is a history day when we got the freedom from British rulers. But my dear friends, as they say, nothing is free in this world. Similarly, freedom was not free of cost. Our freedom fighters sacrificed everything for the nation. That time, we were not there to fight with them. But today, to remember their sacrifice and to celebrate our freedom, I request all of you to stand at your place and sing the national anthem with me. Please stand at your place and switch on your video. Please switch on your video and unmute yourself and sing the national anthem with me. At least stand at your place. जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाए तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे बोल भारत माता की जय. So friends, how is the Josh?
Hi.
How is the
Hi,
Josh?
madam.
I didn't hear. How
Hi,
is the
madam.
Josh?
Hi.
Obviously, it should be high. We are going to celebrate our Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. That means 75th year of our national independence. The real hero behind the freedom was our freedom fighters who kept their Josh high and ensured our freedom. Some of them were calm and took decisions with proper planning and preparation. And some of them were fierce who took decisions impromptu. But both of them were important part of our freedom fight. Whenever they failed, they learned from the fail and improved that. And finally, we got the freedom in 1947. There are more than 1,000 freedom fighters. We cannot talk about all of them, but I will try to highlight the sacrifice of some of them during the meeting. But before that, let us start our Toastmaster meeting. Friends, our Toastmaster meeting contains 3 segments. First, the prepared speech segment, where the prepared speakers will deliver their speech based on the objective and levels. The second part, table topic segment, where the table topic master will give the topic impromptu and our speaker will have to speak for 1 to 2 minute impromptu. And the most important part of this session is guests can also participate. And the third and the most important part is the evaluation session, where the general evaluator will evaluate the whole session with the help of auxiliary role players and will provide the feedback and the areas to be improved. And now the time to start our first part of the meeting. But before that, I would like to call our general evaluator. He claims that he is an ordinary Toastmaster like us. That is not true, because he is not just Toastmaster. He is distinguished Toastmaster. He is alumni of IIT Delhi, certified PMP, co-founder of Manoma Construction PMC and eGhar Home Construction in India, and the author of Amazon selling book, Construct Your Building in Just 60 Seconds. In past, he has served as VPPR and President in 2019, Area Director in 2020, Tech Manager in 2021, APQD SLP in 2022, and currently serving as ACD in District 41. So please help me welcome distinguished Toastmaster Abhinav Bhardwaj with a thunderous round of applause.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Shalu,
Yeah,
and the
Abhinav.
efforts.
Dear Abhinav,
You
please
have-
explain your role.
Am I audible to you? Yes. So thank you very much for this warm welcome and the amount of energy you have put in to collect this information. So it clearly shows how much prepared we are. So you would have got an idea about it that I have my natural trait of evaluating the things, and that's how I become the general evaluator. And that's what I'm going to do throughout the meeting behind the scenes in the next coming 1.5 hours. So when we meet in Toastmasters meeting, evaluations becomes very, very important, because we all are coming here to improve ourselves, and without a good feedback, how we will improve. So that's why we call this session a very, very important session. We'll talk more about it in the later part of the session when we'll come on to the evaluation section. At this point of time, it is important for you to understand how evaluations will take place. So we are having, for every speech, we are having a specialized evaluators, whether it be a prepared speech or it is a table topic speech. They will come, they will get introduced whenever they will be called up after the prepared speeches, when the evaluation section will come. After that, there is a specialized evaluation for all the speeches on terms of time, on terms of language, and what exactly these role players do. Let's hear directly from their mouth. So please help me to invite the one of the good terminology I have read today. I'll use that. We have the language evaluator, whom we also known as the grammarian or the accounter. So let's hear directly from Toastmaster Anupam Shanghai, who is the secretary of VMC, and he has been such a charming person. The moment he has joined the meeting, my eyes were there like, who is this person? And later on, I realized that yes, he's going to play a very vital role in today's meeting. So over to you, Toastmaster Anupam. Please share about your roles and responsibilities for today's meeting.
General Evaluator, sir. Good evening, all my fellow Toastmaster and dear friends. I am Anupam Sangai, and today I am playing the role of Language Evaluator. As a Language Evaluator, I will keep track of all the good users and not so good users of English. I will keep track of small pauses, long pauses, and other grammatical and verbal mistakes during the meeting. Now I am going to introduce the word of the day, which is elation. Its meaning is a feeling of great joy or pride. Example, the fans felt elation after the referee blew the full-time whistle. Thank you, sir. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Anupam. So whenever someone uses this word of the day, please make sure that you're raising a thumbs up in front of your screen, and I request our language expert, language evaluator to please share the word of the day through the chat box as well. Yes, so someone has shared it,
I am sharing.
asked it via chat box as well. Please share the word of the day. Try to use it as much as you can, because if from the Toastmasters meeting, if you are able to get one word out of this meeting, so that's a good go for your complete day, that you have learned added one word in your vocabulary. So I hope you have got an idea what is an evaluator is there. So we have two more auxiliary evaluator that we call, that make the tag team, timer, active listener, and the grammarian team, which we call. So please help me welcome our active listener for the day, who is no other than Toastmasters Saborni. Can we have you on the screen? No, I think Toastmaster.
Hello.
Yes. Oh, sorry. So perfect. So please help me welcome Toastmaster Savarni Nanda, and she was one of the person. The moment we have joined this room, she was setting the tone of the meetings, how we all are doing. I don't know how early you have joined, but she is one of the person who set up the tune of the meeting and very attentive since beginning when we are seeing this session. And I'm really proud that she has joined our team as an active listener. So let's hear what exactly is the role of active listener and what value is bringing in for all of us in the meeting. Over to you, Toastmaster Savarni.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. I am Toastmaster Shaborni, and today I will be playing the one of the most interesting roles of the session, which is active listener. Active listening requires you to listen attentively to a speaker, understand what they are saying, and respond. My role as an active listener is to actively listen to the whole session and ask questions to audience regarding the session. Whoever answers those questions in the end will be rewarded with applause. I'll be back to the question at the end of the meeting, so do listen to the whole session actively to answer the questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Savarni. Please give a huge round of applause to Toastmaster Savarni. So it is one of the interesting part of the Toastmasters meeting. Let's move on fast because we have to catch up on the time, and the next person is exactly going to do that. So please help me welcome Toastmaster Shruti Bhartiya, and it is really interesting to invite her for this role. When you read Bhartiya in a meeting in which every one of us is having the background, which is so fancy, and I'm really super excited to hear our timer for the day. Please, Toastmaster Shruti, share your roles and responsibility with all the attendees of the meeting. Over to you.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Yes, I was known as India back in school. So who better can know the value of time than Mahatma Gandhi? He brought us independence within 35 years, from 1912 to 1947, whereas we took 200 years to fight for independence. So he taught us to strike right. We need to strike on time. So I'll be the timer for today's meeting. I'll be timing the prepared speech section, the table topic section, and the evaluation section. The prepared speech section will be of 5 to 7 minutes. The table topic section, the time limit will be 1 to 2 minutes, and the evaluations will have a time limit of 2 to 3 minutes. I'll be sharing my screen for the same. 1 minute. I hope everyone can see my screen. So I will be showing the green card at the minimum qualifying time, the yellow card for the average of the minimum and maximum qualifying time, the red card at the maximum qualifying time. So for example, I will be showing the green card at 5 minutes for prepared speech section, at 6 minutes for prepared speech section, the yellow card, and at 7 minutes for prepared speech section, the red card. Now there is a grace period on the upper and lower time limits, or the prepared speech section and the evaluation section. So for example, the prepared speech section for qualifying, we have to speak from 4:30 minutes up to within the limit of 4:30 minutes to 7 minutes 30 seconds. And for the table topic section, there's a grace period of 30 seconds. So I will be giving my report when called upon to do so by the general evaluator. Over to you, general evaluator, sir.
Perfect. So I think Toastmaster Shruti has said that for the table topics, the green card will be shown at 1 minute, right? Green card at 1 minute.
Green card at 1 minute, yellow card at 1 minute 30 seconds, and red card at 2 minutes, up to 2 minutes 30 seconds.
And after 2 minutes 30 seconds, what did you Shruti?
They will not qualify if they keep on speaking after 2 minutes 30 seconds.
Will they get any indication, highlight, or the color?
I showed the screen, it was not visible.
But I was not able to make a difference between 2 minutes and 2 minutes 30 seconds. Is there any difference?
The red screen will keep on displaying from 2 minutes up to the end. They won't get a highlight.
Right. So you've got an idea what kind of timeline things will be there. So I was really nervous how the evaluation session will go for today's meeting, which is so precious. And after this round of introduction, I'm pretty high and pretty excited to bring you the evaluation section and really high on the confidence, the evaluation, the qualitative evaluation, which will come for all of you. So I hope you all have got an idea that you are going to, for all the speeches, we have the specialized evaluators, and for all the speeches, they will get evaluated on terms of language, on terms of time, on terms of grammar. And I am the person who is going to make sure that all evaluators are happening, evaluations are happening fine. So I am the evaluators of the evaluators whom we call general evaluator. So I will present my report by the totally end of the session, how it happens. So you are at a right place where you will get right feedback. And the session for today's session will be conducted by the TMOD of the day. So stage is given back to our TMOD, and let's enjoy today's session.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Thank you, General. Please keep a big round of applause for DTM Abhinav. Now the time for our first segment, prepared speech segment. But before that, I have a question from all of you. Who gave the slogan, "तुम मुझे खून दो, मैं तुम्हें आजादी दूंगा"? No one?
Netaji
Subhash Chandra Bose.
Yes, my dear friends, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. He is an epitome of preparation in his life. He was from well-established family and preparing in Britain for Indian civil service. But when heard about nationalist turmoil, he resigned his candidacy just for the nation and came back home. Although he was not supported from other peace-loving revolutionaries, although he succeeded to influence the prepared army of about 40,000 troops in Japanese-occupied Southeast Asia, and he formed his own army called Azad Hind Fauj, with the help of which he fought for the independence of the nation. Just like Netaji prepared himself for the struggle for independence, our speaker has also prepared himself to deliver a speech. But before calling him, I would like to call his evaluator. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Anjali Saxena. Toastmaster Anjali, please explain the objective of his speech given by the speaker. Toastmaster Anjali.
There has been some last minute changes. So
Okay.
Toastmaster Vandana, would you?
Okay. Sorry. Toastmaster Vandana, please explain the objective of his speech.
Yeah, just a minute.
Sorry.
Fellow Toastmasters, dear guests, the speaker, Toastmaster Rupesh, is going to deliver the purpose of his speech is practice applying feedback and serve as the speech evaluator during a club meeting. The purpose of the speech is for the member to present a speech and receive feedback from the evaluator. This is his first speech, and timer, please note his speeches. His speech timing is from 5 to 7 minutes. I wholeheartedly extend my best wishes To the speaker, Toastmaster Rupesh. And over to you, Madam Toastmaster of the day.
To Toastmaster Vanna. Now I would like to call our first speaker. He is doctor by name, consultant by profession, and shire by his passion. He has been Toastmaster for more than 4 years. He has successfully coached the South Kolkata Toastmaster Club and made it a President Distinguished Club. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Rupesh with a speech title Fuzzy Trolling. Fuzzy Trolling Toastmaster Rupesh.
Yeah, hope I am, you guys can hear me and I'm visible. And Toastmaster Anurag. This is All India Radio, and you are listening to Dr. Rupesh Singh on the evening news. Headlines for today's are, all the leaves of armed forces are cancelled due to war declaration between India and Pakistan. All the armed forces are advised to report on duty as soon as possible. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, fellow Toastmasters and would-be Toastmasters, very good evening. This kind of news was broadcasted every hour on 3rd December 1971, and all the Fauji, means our soldiers, got called because India was forced to enter the war on the side of East Pakistan after Pakistan attacked 11 air stations of India. Second Lieutenant Arun Khetrapal also received same kind of message, and he made himself available immediately to the army office. Before joining the army, Arun also cleared the IIT exam on 1967, but he chose to join Indian Army through NDA to serve the motherland. And he was fortunate to got chance to be part of 1971 war. Indian soldiers was clearing the mines when Pakistan army attacked on India with the 14 tanks. But that time, India had only 3 tanks available that time. One of the tank led by Lieutenant Arun Khetrapal. During the fight, Arun saw that 2 of our Indian tanks got damaged, but he decided to take the enemy heads on. But suddenly, his tank got affected and he also got severely injured. His commander ordered him to leave, but the final words heard over the radio were, "No, sir, I will not leave. I'll not abandon my tank. My gun is still working, and I will get these bastards." Now the situation got intensified. The last Pakistani tank was just 100 meters away. Then suddenly the sound of explosion, boom! Last standing tank of Pakistan army was in flames. But at the same time, Second Lieutenant Arun Khetrapal sacrificed his life for his motherland. For his bravery and tenacity of purpose, he got honored with the highest grenadier medal, the Paramveer Chakra. But the story doesn't end here. In 2001, Brigadier M.L. Khetrapal, father of Second Lieutenant Arun Khetrapal, felt a strong desire to visit his birthplace at Sargodha. Now it is in Pakistan. At the Lahore airport, he was greeted by the Brigadier Khwaja Muhammad Nasir, who took charge to become host and guide. Brigadier Khetrapal also met his family. Finally, the last night before Brigadier Khetrapal's departure, Brigadier Nasir said that there is something I want to convey to you from many years, and the fate has finally sent you to me. As we are also close now, it is very difficult for me to say. With regret, I say Your son died in my hands. Arun's courage was exemplary as he moved his tank with fearless courage and daring, totally unconcerned about his safety. At last, there was a situation where we two of us left facing one another. We both fired simultaneously, and it was destined that I was to live and he was to die. I thought I would ask for your forgiveness, but I realized there is nothing to forgive. Instead, I salute your son for what he did at the age of 21. Brigadier Khetrapal departed speechless. Remember, I can recall one line. ये जो थोड़ा तुम्हें सुकून है, ये जो थोड़ा तुम्हें सुकून है, इसके पीछे किसी वर्दी वाले का खून है. Means our peace is hidden behind the blood of army man. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our Indian army, where our enemies are also forced to give respect. Have you realized an army man spent his entire life in 2 to 3 uniform, but in contrary, we people spend a lot on ourselves. Have you realized how their family lives in distress, thinking of the life protecting us on the border? Have you realized they may not have enough money for their children to be admitted in the business school our children attended today? Big question mark. I tell you from my experience, as my brother, younger brother Ritesh Singh served the country as an army man who got chance to be part of the Kargil war as well. I visited the command hospital Jammu in 1999 without telling my parents after hearing his death news. After reaching there, I learned that he had been in a coma for the last 9 days after his injury during the fight with militants. I was happy because he was alive. But when I saw him, I was in tears looking at his body condition. There was a big hole in his left palm. His whole body was wrapped with a bandage. I was crying. But my brother told, "Hey, brother, why are you crying? You should be proud rather than crying, as I finished each and every militant that day and saved many of us." So, the ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, think about the big question mark, because I felt that pain very closely and understood that souls of every soldiers, that means our Faujis, are telling something hiddenly and calling you, calling me. Are you listening? I can hear the whisper. Knock, knock. Fauji is calling. Are you also listening, Toastmaster Vaday? Thank you.
Wow, the wonderful speech. It was not just a speech. It brought the tears in my eyes and made me proud to be an Indian. Now the time is to call our second speaker. But before that, I would like to call his evaluator. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Anurag. Toastmaster Anurag, please explain the objective of second speaker.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. The purpose of this project is to develop or enhance your understanding of the steps and strategies to address the conflict. My set speaker today is delivering his project, Understanding Conflict Resolution from Level 3, from the Pathways Persuasive Influence. Timer, please note that the time limit is 5 to 7 minutes, and all the very best to the speaker, and I'm quite elated to be hearing his speech today. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anurag. Now I would like to call our second speaker. He belongs to Punjab. He is an engineering graduate and currently he is doing his own business. He likes reading books, traveling, and interacting with new people. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Munish with a speech titled Harmony or Conflict. Harmony or Conflict, Toastmaster Munish.
Am I clearly audible and visible? Okay, thank you very much. Hey bro, the queue is very long and we will not get the ticket. Okay, let us both creep slowly to the ticket window, and people will push me and you can buy the ticket from the other side. Me and my friend, we both slowly crept towards the ticket window. People started shouting and pushing us. There was a very big fight, but we somehow managed to get the railway ticket from the ticket window that day. We came out very elated and very happy. Whatever you do daily, either you are building a conflicting society or you are helping to build a harmonious society. So are you building a conflicting society or are you building a harmonious society? Which side are you on? I hope you will get the answer by the end of this speech. So how many times in a week do you face conflicts? I think the answer would be that many times in a week, or you can say almost daily. All those people who are doing jobs, for them it could be many times a day, and all those people who are doing jobs and also married, for them it could be too many times a day. Whenever a person dies, we always say or pray for him to rest in peace, because we think that this is the only place where a person can be conflict free and can have some peace. Now I will tell you my face off with conflicts 2 days ago. On last Thursday morning, I was going to my office. I was crossing the traffic light signal when it was green. When I was crossing, suddenly a car came from the wrong side and hit my car. For next half an hour, I was standing in the middle of the road and fighting that guy. I was already very annoyed. I reached the office 1 hour late. When I reached the office, the boss was very angry because I was late. He did not believe in my story, and this led to another conflict between me and my boss. And I was then extremely annoyed. In the evening, I got a call from a friend from the hospital to come urgently to the hospital. When I reached the hospital, there was commotion and commotion all around, and people were shouting. Actually, the doctor has given an expired medicine to my friend's father, and he was about to die. Although my friend's father was saved, but for that evening, it was full of conflicts and mayhem. So the conflicts are all around. Sometimes it feels that the world is full of conflicts. Whenever you turn on your TV, you hear just conflicts and conflicts. Political parties are in conflicts, families are in conflicts, nations are in conflicts. It seems that everything is in conflict. But now the big question is that can we get rid away from these conflicts, or do we have to always live with them? And my answer is that if we can learn three qualities, or we develop three qualities, we can get rid of conflicts, or we can solve any conflict we want. So let us see what are these three qualities. The first quality with which we can get away from the conflicts is righteousness. As said by Dr. Abdul Kalam, when there is righteousness in heart, there is harmony in home. And when there is harmony in home, there is peace in the nation. Righteousness means doing the things which are ethically and morally right. Let me tell you a story to explain my point. Once I was working as an intern in a company. The company used to follow very unethical and immoral means. They used to take big orders by quoting very cheap prices and then used to delay the order for months. They also sometimes intentionally ship the defective products and then later reply impudently to the customer's complaints. Near that big company, there was a very small company. That small company used to follow very ethical means and always embrace customer complaints. This small company used to get very less orders because of the high prices and because of low production capacity. 5 years down the line, the company which I worked for had to shut down and the small company became the big company. So friends, I mean to say that righteousness always pays off, and the people with righteous character always solve conflicts by following ethical and moral values. Second quality is listening. We listen to others to know their perspectives and to know their reference from the to see the things from their point of reference. We listen to others to know the underlying emotions or underlying needs of the other person. Let me share a story to explain this point. Once there was an automobile company who had a sales showroom at a corner of the street. The company decided to expand its land space to add more facilities to the showroom. Behind the showroom, there was a very old and very big house where used to live a very old man. For the next 6 months, the company has tried very hard to buy that house from the old man. They even offered 4 times the amount to that old man to buy that house, but the old man said no. The company tried all the means to get the house, but the old man was adamant. The company was almost fed up. And finally, they decided to give it a last try by hiring a wise negotiator. The negotiator went to the old man, and the old man again said no to him. Being disappointed, the old man asked for a cup of tea before leaving. While having a cup of tea, the negotiator asked the old man, what is the one thing that he desires the most? The old man said that his desire is that he wants to make this house an old age home after he dies. He has no money to fulfill the desire now, but he wants to do it after he dies. The negotiator went to the company and said that he can crack these deals at half the price only if they can make an old age home outside the city at cheap cost on the cheap land, double the size of this house with a small extra house with it. The company said, okay, they can do it. The negotiator went to the old man and said that his dreams can be fulfilled while he is alive and he can see all the things happening in front of his eyes. The old man listened to the idea of the negotiator and immediately agreed. So just by patiently listening, the negotiator could manage to solve the conflict that was happening for 6 months. The third quality that could help you solve the conflict is storytelling. Biggest conflicts in the world is done by storytelling, and biggest conflicts of the world are solved by only by storytelling. In 1942, someone told the story of Jews' oppression and exploitation, which led to the Second World War. 5,000 years ago, someone told the story of a fight between Kauravas and the Pandavas, and which is still enlightening the world. Stories are the oldest modes of communication, and stories can be the most impactful way of communicating others. Now, with these 3 qualities, or by building these 3 qualities, we can solve all the conflicts from even small to big conflicts. But the question is still remaining, that are you building a conflicting society or are you building a harmonious society? Which side are you on? To get the answer to this question, ask yourself that when someone from your family or friend break a line or a queue and get things quickly to you, do you celebrate or do you object? When there is no one on the road, do you jump the red light or throw garbage on the road, or do you follow rules and regulations? Do you always try to impose your opinions on others, or do you listen to others and try to be in their shoes? If you get answer to these questions yourself, you can get the side that which side you are on. You are building conflicting society or you are building a harmonious society. But by any chance, if we are on the side of building a conflicting society, you can still decide to be on the side of the harmonious society by just building these three qualities. And they are righteousness, listening, and storytelling. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Munish. Friends, now the time for our second part of the meeting, table topic session. But before calling our table topic master, I have a question for all of you. Who was the freedom fighter who held the title Shahid-e-Azam? Who was the freedom fighter who held the title Shahid-e-Azam? Yeah, Dr. Rupesh.
It was Bhagat Singh.
Yeah, right. I am talking about the great revolutionary Shahid Bhagat Singh, who sacrificed his life at the age of just 23 for the nation and held the title Shahid-e-Azam to sacrifice his age at just 23. He was one of the most prominent and renowned freedom fighters who never planned and acted according to the situation and proved to be a major reason to get freedom of our nation. Acting impromptu is a virtue which we can learn from the life of Shahid Bhagat Singh. Similarly, impromptu public speaking is a virtue which we can learn from the second part of the meeting, table topic session. I would like to call our table topic master. She is data analyst by profession and Toastmaster by passion. She is mother of 2 kids. She likes to listen music and gardening. Please help me welcome our table topic master, Toastmaster Saroj. Toastmaster Saroj, the podium is yours.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster TMOD Shalu, and thanks to giving us this wonderful environment of Independence Day. Okay, so I am the Toastmaster of the day. So as Toastmaster Shalu shared about me that I am the mother of 2 kids. Me and my husband, all family lived in the Noida. I am a spiritual person also, so try to be positive always. And okay, so let's start the table topic. So there's some rules already. Our timer of the day has shared that there is 1 to 2 minutes of the time. So guest also can participate in this speech, and it is the impromptu speech. So I tried to select some pictures from the famous movies of the patriotic movies related to Independence Day or related to country. So it will be easy to all of you to identify the picture. So you need to just share the picture name from which movie it is, and you need to share about the picture, whatever you can see in this picture. So what is the scene, what is the story behind it, only this. Okay, so as you know that it's a 1 to 2 minutes. So at 1 minute you will get the green card, at 2 minutes at 1 minute 30-second yellow card, and the 2 minute red card, and 2 minute to 30-second you can sum up your speech. So thank you so much. So who will first raise the hand? I'm sharing my screen also. Please allow me to share my screen. Yeah. So, okay. So, who is the first person? Please close your eyes first. Who is okay? Shashwat Sharma. Okay. Okay. Thank you. So this is your topic, Shashwat. Please. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes. So wait a minute. This is from which movie it is and what is the story behind the scene. Please let us know.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Saroj. So this particular scene happens to be from one of my favorite movies, and the movie is Rang De Basanti. Now, why I say that it is my favorite movie is that because it is just about a bunch of people who are in college and they want to make a difference. Now, that is something that is extremely important. We try to think, okay, this is my table topic, right?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. Now, the most important thing about making a difference is that it requires a lot of hard work. It requires a lot of perseverance, a lot of determination. And that is exactly that the bunch of youths who are present in this particular frame, or who are even in absentia from the frame, but are present in our hearts by the characterization that they had in the movies, is something that is extremely important. Now, this particular scene happens to be when one of the protagonists, who goes by the name Siddharth, admitted that he killed his father. Now, he admitted to murdering his dad because he was someone who was not letting the country develop. He was someone who was corrupt. He was someone who was hampering and had someone who had caused grave damage to one of his friends' lives. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you have to understand that this might be one of the most dreaded steps or a most extreme step. But what we realize from this particular movie is that each one of us has the potential to make a difference. We should have the passion, we should have the determination, and we should have it in ourselves that irrespective of what the outcomes are, irrespective of how the society sees us, we will make a difference. And that is how they are inspired. Now, the inspiration could come in from myriad instances, ranging from the scenario of a close acquaintance's death in this particular movie. But you all have to delve deep and look for that particular inspiration that will help you moving forward in order to be the difference. To quote one of the greatest leaders, late Mahatma Gandhi, be the change you wish to see in the world. And that is my message to all of you, ladies and gentlemen. Be the change that you wish to see in the world. What do you think, Madam Table Topics Master?
Thank you so much. Thanks for sharing your thoughts. And really, we need to be, if we want change, so we need to be change ourselves first. As TM Monish also shared, we have to start from ourselves first. So who is the second speaker? They are very easy topic and interesting also. So anyone can raise hand, please. I cannot see any. Please let me
Toastmaster
know.
Rupesh has raised his hand, not
Okay.
on the Zoom, but physically. And
Okay.
Toastmaster Brijesh
Yes.
has also raised his hand.
Okay. So can I take first Brijesh, Toastmaster Brijesh? Okay. So this is the topic for you. So it is very famous also. Please share something about this picture. The movie name, Toastmaster Brijesh.
Yeah, good afternoon. I'm sorry, but I've not seen this movie.
But three people and they are going to for the hang. Can you?
Yes.
Okay. So you can sing any patriotic song for us. Is it okay? No?
I'm not good at singing actually.
No problem. No problem. It's not a singing competition. Just there is two way. Either you can
I can
choose.
give a hint.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very...
it's a movie about Bhagat Singh. It was one of the three movies that was released at that time. I think Shahid Bhagat Singh or something like that. And
Yes.
so the speaker can speak on that topic.
Yeah. So thanks for the clue. Okay. So I'll put my camera on. So good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for this opportunity. So as we know that Bhagat Singh is one of our freedom fighter. Okay, he has done a lot of things for. I mean, am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So yes. So he was one of the freedom fighter who has done a lot of things to a lot of efforts to what you call make our country free from what you call the British what you call sorry.
Okay. Take your time, Regis, no problem. Or you can share any thoughts related to Independence Day, Amrit Mahotsav, and anything, whatever you like in the India.
For Amrit Mahotsav, yes, what I can see is like we have completed 75 years of the independence. So we have seen one of the waves like where our Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, requesting everyone to have a what you call Tiranga flag on everyone house, okay, and celebrate this celebrate this particular time as a kind of festival, okay. So in during we have seen a lot of road shows. And a lot of activities going around in the country. Okay, we have seen bike rallies or something like that, where everyone is participating and putting flags on their cars, bikes, and on their homes and celebrating this festival. So this is how I have looked this particular thing, and it is when you go to the road and you drive a car or something, and when you see this kind of rally, it gives kind of feeling that yes, like people are like we started understanding the value of this independence, and they are celebrating this particular event is like another festival, like we used to celebrate Holi and Diwali and everything. So it's like really make us feel proud that everyone is like understanding the importance of independence and celebrating it. It is like a kind of festival, not just as an event. So it's really makes us feel good.
Thank you so much, TM Rajesh, for attending this. Okay, so who is the next one? So TM Rupesh, will you try? Okay.
I'm okay. I believe Toastmaster Jay is also raising hand because I already spoke. So that's the reason others would get chance. Otherwise, I'm always ready.
Okay, thank you. So Toastmaster Jay, I'm sharing the topic for you. So can you recognize this picture?
I believe it is from Mangal Pandey, but
Yes,
rising something. I don't actually recall the name, but it is rising something. It is
No,
based
no
on.
problem. I don't want any exact name. You can share your thoughts for this movie or yes.
As we are celebrating the 75th Independence Day, and the independence we got on 15 August 1947. However, the embers of freedom was first lightened during 1857, which was what we call the First War of Independence. And one of the major leaders of that First War of Independence, along with Rani Lakshmi Bai, Tatya Tope, and others, was our own Mangal Pandey. Mangal Pandey was a soldier in British East India Company, and he served British Army for some time. However, once he saw that the the injustice and the cruelty, which was the what you can say a landmark of Britishers, he decided that it was enough. Then he, along with many others, were involved in this uprising. However, unfortunately, you can say that the uprising failed, and I believe he was shot with a gun near Barakpur in West Bengal. So this didn't end well. However, he gave inspirations to a lot of people who see that somehow even if you are serving British, you can recognize their cruelty and then fight for your motherland, fight for development of the same. We should take some inspiration for this. And even though we may not be able to do much, but we should be able to do something small in our own ways. So And that should be the true guiding light of the independence.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Jay. Thank you. I wanted to say that, sorry, I forgot the name, the timer of the day. So you can share your screen when I will stop sharing my screen because people can't see the chatting when they are.
Actually, I could not share it initially. That's why I had
Oh, sorry,
started.
sorry for this. I just realized, so that's I stopped my screen sharing. Okay, I will stop that after this. Okay, so who is the next? I think now I can take TM Rupesh. Okay, thank you. So I'm sharing my screen. Then I will stop this. Okay, can you see this picture?
Yes, I can.
So do you remember the name of the movie?
I don't recall the name of the movie, but it's okay.
Okay, it's Razi.
I
Now you can
believe
share.
it might be Razi or something, but
Yes, yes.
Jaa main yaad rahu.
Yes. So you can share something about this movie or
Very good
this series.
evening, fellow Toastmasters, or to be Toastmaster in this virtual forum. After seeing this girl, I can recall one line. अब तक जिसका खून न खोला खून नहीं वो पानी है जो देश के काम ना आए वो बेकार जवानी है. That means your blood is not saying something what you will do for your country. Fellow Toastmaster and guest, we are living in this world where patriotism is a thing where government need to force you to understand what your country is. You need to remember lot of Sahid Bhagat Singh, Chandrasekhar Azad, and lot many more, Khudiram both, at the age of 12 only, he selected to die for the country. It was not a thing they could not save themselves, but sacrifice, because they thought if they will sacrifice, lot of other Khudiram Bose, lot of other Chandrasekhar Azad, lot of other Bhagat Singh will take birth. And that's the reason we got the freedom. And this is the time each one of us need to remember that, and we need to sustain. They did the part 1. Part 2 and part 3 is our responsibility. And that is where it's our responsibility, even as is our whole Toastmaster fraternity, we need to talk about the freedom, talk about the cost of the freedom. That will be the real patriotism. And we will do that even the young age, your kid, our younger brothers and sisters, we need to teach them this is how we got the freedom, how we need to retain this. That is the real use of young age. What do you think, Table Topic Master?
Yes, well, right. Okay, thank you, TM Rupesh. Who is the next one? One topic I will give to you, TM Abhinav, please. I need to listen from you.
Toastmaster Vandana has raised the hand, Sarup.
Okay. I'm sharing my screen. Toastmaster Vandana for you. Why it is disabled? I cannot share. Please
So the timer will have to stop sharing,
yes.
And then you can share.
Timer. Okay, now it's. So Vandana, Toastmaster Vandana, this is for you. This is very emotional scene. Can you recognize the movie?
Maybe Bhagat Singh.
Yes, true.
I think it's Udham Singh.
Yeah, Udham Singh. Sorry. Yes, Udham Singh.
Yes. Good evening, everyone. Though I have not watched this movie, but still, I would say, in this picture, it was showing that a children was sitting, and Udham Singh, he was helping that children to find out something from the ground. And as we know, that whenever we see a child, we change ourselves. We have something else, some other thing of feelings for them, and and be clearly visible from the picture that Udham Singh was injured and the blood was coming out from his body, and still he was taking care of that children. He was sitting with him. Maybe he was just uh, sharing his thoughts or his pains to that children, and that children who was sitting with listening to that Udham Singh. Maybe he's not been able to do anything for him, but he's there to listen. And it's always said that when we explain our worries, our problems to someone, it goes a bit, it lowers down, it comes down. So with this picture, I could relate that we can share our problems to someone so that our problems get lessons, I think. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster, Table Topic Master.
Thank you so much, TM Vandana, for the try, but you cannot correlate with the scene. So if anyone can try, so I would. Anyone please, if anyone has seen the movie, actually it is the scene after the when Jallianwala Bagh Hatyakand happened.
I can try.
Okay, please, because this is a very painful scene, a very important scene of the movie, so that's why I want that someone please try for this. Thanks.
Can someone take up the timer's role? Like, will this be timed?
Yeah, I will time it and I'll write in the chat box. Huh?
Okay. So I'm starting. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters, general evaluators, and dear guests. Do you know why Rabindranath Tagore renounced his knighthood? It was this very painful scene. There were innocent people out there to celebrate Makar Sankranti out there. And they had no intention of bringing on any amount of violence upon anyone. It was a peaceful gathering. And there you go. What happened? General Saunders entered. He opened fire. There were men, there were women, and there were children. They fled here, there. They had no one for rescue. They jumped into a well, and let me tell you, the waters of that well is red to this day. Gandhiji, most probably, to my recollection, launched the non-cooperation movement that very day. He had decided from 1912 up to 1919. Now is the time to act. We cannot stay silent. General Saunders was later on tried in British court. Despite all of the struggles of getting him accused, Britain got him free. Udham Singh decided that it was time to avenge this thing. He killed General Saunders in Lahore. In that, to avenge this particular struggle. And then started our first great march to freedom, the non-cooperation movement. Today, on the Independence Day celebrations, we decide yet again that this blood will not be wasted, that innocent people will not be again targeted for a certain imperialist nation. We stand up today again, remembering all of the ideals of Mahatma Gandhi and Rabindranath Tagore, and we say, "Bas bahut hua, ab aur nahi." It's enough, no more. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Great. You really show us the picture. You give all the emotions. Thank you. Okay, who won the next? Toastmaster Abhinav, will you try?
It is related to movies, so I am silent.
But they are very famous
Yeah, I
movies.
can give it a try. No worries. I can give it a try.
Okay, I'm sharing my screen. will give you some tough one. Can you see this? Or you can sing a song also.
Yeah, even the singing is better option. So
Okay, okay.
yes. So we are seeing a particular scene in which Jawaharlal Nehru and Gandhiji both were there, and that was a time when we have got a historical moment of our division as well, in which India and Pakistan has formed. The event which happened in all of our life when it comes to independence, it has a happy moment, and it has a moment which we all wished, whether we sit in India or whether we sit in Pakistan, that there was a possibility of both the countries staying together. Whether we say it loud, whether we keep it up with ourselves, the emotion which has come with the division which happened between two countries is so deep into our soul that everyone have ever thought about it. Yes, there would have been another way with which we had got divided, or the way we have got an independence. And this emotion of division is playing a role at every level. If we talk about our family, if we talk about our country, when it comes to division, as an individual, we never feel good about our society, right? If we talk about our family, which is getting divided into two areas, we will never love it. And when such an event is happening on such a scale, which is at a country level, so it makes a very huge impact that by today's time, when we see the communal rights and all those things are happening, a different kind of sentiments arose from our side, from our soul. What should be done in those situations, and where does it belong? Where in the past, where in the history it lies? And the moment of independence is one of the event which had involved all the great leaders, whether it is Nehruji, whether it is Gandhiji, or all the great leaders whom we have known with the independence. Somehow we take that independence with a pinch of salt, that a division has also happened at that point of time, and we all are witnessing a lot many things which we love and sometimes we do not love with the independence. Thank you very much, and I hope with the coming time or 75 plus years, someday a good time will come when we will also see something happening on the reunion of the countries. Let me call me optimistic, and I'm happy to be called so. Thank you. Over to the
Thank you so much, TM. Abhinav. Okay, so who is the next one? I think today we have some guest also. No? Okay. So anyone else? I have time. General availability, do I have time or not? I have one or two more topics if I have time, so I can share. Otherwise, we can continue for the meeting. So, can I share some more topics? TM Anurag, for you.
Okay, I'll give it a shot. And after that, we can wrap up. Maybe Paramathesh. Am I pronouncing it correctly?
Paramathesh.
Yeah.
Okay. So first for Paramathesh.
Paramathesh.
Are you a guest or Toastmaster? Sorry, I don't know.
I am a Toastmaster from the Unicorn Voices Toastmasters.
Okay, okay. So, okay. I'm sharing the screen, Toastmaster Paramathesh, for you. Thank you. It is very easy one I'm giving to you. This one. Do you remember this movie?
This is a scene from Lagan.
Yes.
This is a fictional metaphor that was used for depicting that the kind of injustice that was happening during the British imperial rule, and a bunch of poor farmers thought that they would fight back without breaking the law. It is very in line with the thought of Gandhiji, who used to go against the imperial rule by not breaking the law. I will give you an example. Like we have Oxford and Cambridge. They are under a trust, which is not a registered entity. So he opened a university in India that is under a trust. So it was a perfectly legal thing to do without getting into problem. So Lagan was also a metaphorical example of fighting back without breaking the law. And it showed it very beautifully using our favorite sport, that is cricket, so that all people can relate to the story and enjoy it as a movie as well, and have a great time, and also understand what freedom is. Over to you, Madam Tabletop Master.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Pramathesh, and thank you all of you, all the speakers. So, okay, let's continue for the meeting. I'm concluding here. Thank you.
Wonderful Toastmaster Saros. What a great topics. I hope all of you enjoyed this session. Now the time is for our third and most important part of the meeting, evaluation. Evaluation is everywhere. Without evaluation, there is no room for improvement. Similarly, to get freedom, evaluation was most important. Our freedom fighters failed many times, but they didn't give up. They analyzed their failure and learned from that. My dear friends, I would like to talk something about one another freedom fighter, because I can't talk so much about during this meeting. Even I talk about 24 hours, his contribution will never end. Yes, I am talking about the great revolutionary who is also called father of the nation. I hope all of you know who is the father of the nation. Can anyone tell? Yeah.
Gandhiji.
Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. He is also called Mahatma Gandhi. Why he is called Mahatma Gandhi? He advocated many peaceful protests and demonstrations. His belief was based on non-violence called ahimsa, which was highly appreciated by the people of India, even other countries also. There are various important movements which made him the father of the nation. Can anyone tell one movement? Yes, Toastmaster Pramathesh.
Sorry, I did not get the question actually.
Any movement held by the Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi? Any name of the movement? There are various movements.
Mahatma Gandhi was actually the only global leader that India has ever produced. It is my firm belief, and if we see whether it is Nelson Mandela or other people, everyone was inspired by Mahatma Gandhi.
Okay,
And
it's okay.
that is what makes him a global leader. And other leaders were actually relevant to only India. I am not disrespecting them, but I think Mahatma Gandhi was truly global, and he is regarded because of his works in South Africa and other thing, and his idea behind non-violence and even various other means, like just like I mentioned that fighting against the rule without breaking the law. So that makes you very special, in my opinion. Thank you.
There are various movements. Some of them, Champaran movement, 1917. Kheria movement, 1918. Khilafat movement, 1919. Non-cooperation movement, 1920. As you saw, one by one movement. The SALT movement, 1929, which is called Dandi March. And the most final nail in the coffin in the British Raj in India, Quit India movement, 1942, during World War II. He was only one person who struggled a lot to get freedom. Due to that, we are free today. And I am proud to be an Indian. Do you proud yourself to be an Indian? So my dear friends, I know it's time to handing over the stage to our general evaluator. But before handing over the stage to our general evaluator, I have 2 or 3 quiz questions. Are you ready? Okay. Now, the first question is, who was the youngest freedom fighter who sacrificed his life? Please raise your hand.
In Assam, we had Kanaplata. She sacrificed him at the age of 16 years.
Time was Shruti Bhatia.
Was it Rani Gaidinilu from Manipur?
No. Toastmaster Pramitesh? Were you saying anything? Any idea?
Baji Rao.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It is
I googled
right.
it.
No, that is not okay. Baji Rao, who sacrificed his life at the age of just 12 years. The Britishers were killed him. Okay, the second question is, please don't Google. Tell if you know, don't Google it. When did India came under the direct rule of the British Crown? I will give you the option. 1, 1757. Second, 1764. The third is 1858. And the fourth is 1930. When did India came under the direct rule of the British Crown?
I would like to introduce option number 5 and say many, many, many years back.
That is easy option. I said nothing is free and nothing is easy. Yeah, okay. Nivan, Toastmaster Saroj.
1757? 64?
Yes, ऐसे तो सब option
No, I remember the 17, but I think 17 something.
1858.
1858. It is the right answer. Toastmaster. Now the third. Fourth. Now the third question is, during which movement Mahatma Gandhi gave the call for do or die? I will not give you the option because this is the easy. During which movement Mahatma Gandhi gave the call for do or die?
Non-cooperation movement.
Quit India.
Do or die. Quit India movement. And the fourth and the last question for the quiz is, what was the name of magazine published by Mohan Charan Karamchand Gandhi, for which he was jailed? Who was jailed? No, Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi.
Swaraj.
I will give you the option. Young India, second is Independent, the third is K3, and fourth is India Mirror.
Young India.
Young India. So, right. So friends, now the wait for third and most important part of the meeting is over. Please help me welcome DTM Abhinav Bhardwaj. DTM Abhinav, the stage is yours.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Shalu. So we are going to have the evaluations. I have told you that we have a wonderful team of evaluators. And before that, for the benefits of the guest and to those who doesn't know, in Toastmasters, whenever we evaluate, we use the CRC approach that we also call as sandwich approach. So what does CRC means? Commendation, recommendation, and commendations. And sandwich means every recommendations which we want to give to the speaker, we have to keep it in between the two recommendations and then give it to the speakers. Right. So this is a general fundamental which we use while giving the recommendations. We use the CRC and the sandwich approach, which I would like all of the evaluators to use it while giving the evaluations to the speakers. And the session which we are going to do it for the evaluation is again going to happen in 3 rounds. In first round, we are going to have the evaluations from the dedicated evaluators who will be evaluating the prepared speeches or the table topics. For the benefit of the timer, I would like to say when you are timing the table topic evaluator, please make sure that you are timing 40 seconds multiplied by the number of speakers, right? So do not use it 2 to 3 minutes, 40 seconds multiplied by the number of speakers who have spoken. After that, we'll get into the second part, which is the specialized evaluation section, in which the tag team will come and they will give specialized points related to the speeches for all the speakers who have spoken. And in the last, the general evaluator will come and they will be, who is obviously me for today's session, and will evaluate the evaluators who had evaluated this complete session. Right? A bit tongue twister, but I'll make sure nothing gets twisted by the end of the session when I'll come. So let's start with the first round, that is to have the dedicated evaluation section. And today we had the 2 speeches. So please help me to welcome Toastmaster Vandana, who was the evaluator for Toastmaster Rupesh speech. Please let's give a huge round of applause and invite her with a lot of cheerful sounds. Over to you, Toastmaster Vandana.
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Abhinav. Fellow Toastmasters, and specifically today's first speaker, Toastmaster Dr. Rupesh. What a speech! The thing which I like the most about Toastmaster Rupesh delivering his speech in a standing position, and that too wearing a army uniform. According to his speech title, that Fauji calling. It was really commendable, and it shows that you are a great speaker, I could say, Toastmaster Rupesh, and congratulations for such a wonderful speech. The thing which I like the most is when you said, and you saw your brother alive, you were very happy. But when you came to know that your brother had a hole in his hand and wrapped with a bandage, you lowered down your voice in a very sad voice. So it was again a wonderful voice modulation, I would say. The third thing which I liked the most was when your friend told you, "Why are you crying?" And you moved your body to the one side, and then replying, you moved your body to the center. Again, this moving your body with a different speaker shows a commendable speaker, a fluent speaker, I could say. But to take your speech to the next level, we always have few recommendations. First, I would say the virtual background, which was hindering your body gestures or hand gestures. It was just hampering, I can say. So please try to delete your virtual background while delivering your speech. Though today was the theme and you all have the virtual background as a theme, but while delivering, you just try to avoid this virtual background. And the second thing I would say, as you are a great potential speaker, I can say, you by speaking more, by delivering more speeches, you can become a more confident and affluent speaker and a excellent speaker, I can say. To sum up, I would say just it was great to see you in army dress or uniform, clear voice modulation and hand gestures, body movement were also commendable, which was again clearly visible and commendable. Only few recommendations: no virtual background while delivering speech, and practice more to deliver speeches so that you can become a confident, excellent speaker, I can say. So with this, I would like wholeheartedly best my best wishes to Toastmaster Rupesh for your future speeches. Thank you. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Vandana. So next speech was delivered by Toastmaster Manish. So please help me welcome his evaluator, Toastmaster Anurag, with the huge round of applause. Over to you, Toastmaster Manish.
Thank you, Sir General Evaluator. Once again, good evening, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished Toastmasters in the house. Today, I'm quite elated of hearing such a wonderful speech delivered by Toastmaster Manish. It has been rightly said, harmony makes small things grow, but lack of it makes even the big things decay. And today, our said speaker speech exemplified what I just quoted. Ladies and gentlemen, there are certain things that I loved about the speaker's speech today. First thing that I loved about his speech was the personal touch. Every story that he shared with us was completely unique and different, which was pertaining to his points, be it his conflict on the road, be it the conflict of that car auto part owner and the house behind that car shop, or any other story that he has shared. So a personal touch was there. Second, I would also like to congratulate the speaker of the day for his presence of mind, for not only using the word of the day, for creating jokes on how conflict can be there when you have a job, and it can be even bigger if you are married and you have a job. Kudos to you, Toastmaster Manish, for picking this point out. The third thing that I loved about the speaker's speech was the structure of the speech. He had a proper introduction, an introduction that could pique the audience's interest, where he started with role play of two friends, and then he had the body and then the conclusion as well, where he said the reasons of conflict and how we can resolve those conflicts. A job very well done on your part, Toastmaster Manish. However, Toastmaster Manish, there are certain recommendations that I have for you. First, I think that you wasted a lot of your time in explaining the conflict resolution words, that is the righteousness, what righteousness means, then listening, what listening means, and then the storytelling. Like you talked a bit about Kauravas and Pandavas, Jews, then you explained listening. So I found that to be a bit unnecessary, which could have been avoided altogether. Next thing is that you picked different stories for each of the conflict resolution. Instead, what you should have done is that you should have taken up one story and maybe say the story of the car accident. Maybe you could have used it that had I been righteous and I would have tried and understood what the other person problem was, and maybe I would have listened to him, or maybe I could have explained him why he shouldn't have banged my car or crossed the red signal. So maybe these qualities on the same storyline could have created much more impact on the audience. The third recommendation that I have for you is that you could have done a bit more of stage choreography. You had that in the initial part of your speech, but later on I couldn't see any stage choreography at all. In total, Toastmaster Manish, I loved the personal touch, the presence of your mind, the structure of your speech. However, if you could just not explain the words of conflict resolution, and if you could just have one story, maybe your speech could have created much more impact on the audience. Thank you, and over to you, Sir General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Anurag. So after these two prepared speeches, we had the impromptu speech section, which was evaluated by the table topic master. And we have our very beloved division director who was playing this role of table topic evaluator. So please help me welcome Toastmaster Vandita, who was the table topic evaluator for the day. Please give her a huge round of applause. Over to you, Toastmaster Vandita.
First of all, thank you to each one of the role players who came before me. The stage is rightly set. I just hope I do worthy evaluation for that. Okay, so I'll speak about the good points and some of the improvements for each one of the speakers. First, let's begin with the speaker number one, that was Toastmaster Shashwat. He had to speak on Rang De Basanti. His prime motto about the speech was, no, anybody can make a difference. And the difference can be made when you change yourself. He started by explaining Rang De Basanti, a few of the characters, what made them do certain revolutions that they did, at what cost they did. Then he talked about determination, passion. He also explained that it all arose from inspiration, and inspiration can be anything big or even something small. Then he ended with a quote of Mahatma Gandhi, be the change you wish to see in the world. A small recommendation to Shashwat is, he knew the content, he knew the story, he knew what he had to talk about. I just hope that he understands that table topic speech is also a mini international speech. So it has to be threaded like a story. So whenever you have content in mind, take a pause of few seconds, define a storyline, and then thread about it. This looks even more fantastic. Another recommendation that I have for Toastmaster Shashwat, which is completely for him, and that is his pace was a little bit too fast. I understand there would be people who could understand the fluency, but there would be some who are not that very well versed with the language English. So definite pauses have to be incorporated, and the pace has to be little slowed down. Otherwise, Shashwat, you were on point, you understood the picture well, and you had a takeaway from your mini speech. That is very important. Let's come back to speaker number two. That was Brijesh. Brijesh had to talk about Bhagat Singh. He did not understand the topic, and that's completely fine. There were certain movies which I had also not seen. One recommendation to the table topic master, whenever there is a speaker who does not understand the picture, please do tell him about the movie and the scene so that he can speak something about it. Because of which, what happened was clearly 1 minute was wasted. And I could see before he started speaking, the green flag was already up. Talking about Brijesh's speech, I understand, sir, you would be facing the stage for once, and I really congratulate you for your bravery that you at least switched on your camera, you were candid about your speech, and you started speaking about it. So certain things that I can tell you, you knew Bhagat Singh, or let's say you did not understand the topic. We understood by the pattern of the meeting that everything is about independence. So you just take the name of Bhagat Singh and then you talk about independence and whatever that means to you. And even this part could mean about 1 to 1 minute 30 seconds. So even if you don't know the content about the picture that is being shown to you, you can still speak about keeping the theme of the meeting in mind. That is a small recommendation for you. Otherwise, the fluency and the impromptu speaking will only come by the practice. And I really appreciate that you took the chance, you stood up, you switched on the camera, which is very important for me. Now, coming back to speaker number three. Speaker number three was there. He understood that it was rising of Mangal Pandey. Then he talked about first word of independence. To correct him, it is 1847 and not 1857. Then he knew the story. He was completely explaining the story to the people. He talked about how Mangal Pandey was a revolutionary trailblazer and how this struggle even started. He even took some important names such as Rani Lakshmibai, Tata Tope. And then he concluded with a very important part, and that was even something small that you do can make a big change. So this whole quote was very mesmerizing. And one suggestion is, when you have some quote in your mind, please repeat it 2 or 3 times. That instills in the minds of audience and it becomes a takeaway. So not just ending with a quote or ending with the takeaway that you want to say, but repeat the takeaway a few more times. Otherwise, your storytelling skills are good, sir. And one more thing that I would like to appreciate you on, that you were constantly looking in the camera. So that is also an appreciative thing. Just for all. Now, speaker number 4, Toastmaster Rupesh. Now, Toastmaster Rupesh clearly didn't know that it was movie Razi, but he was intelligent enough to understand the code. Then he said a very joshily line in Hindi and then explained it in English. I am really mesmerized with that. He talked about freedom and the cost of freedom. One thing that I would say as a suggestion, since I understand that Rupesh is a seasoned Toastmaster, he understands how to build a story and how to speak in inform to speak section. The next thing that I want to see from him is that he stands up and uses the stage. Every time you have to challenge yourself, now that you are very comfortable with sharing a story and delivering the content, now you need to work on the delivery part. That is your expression, your stage movements, your hand movements, very critical. Now, coming back to speaker number 5, Toastmaster Vandana. So Toastmaster Vandana could not understand the picture. What she understood was there is a gentleman and there's a child. She talked about the empathy that anyone develops while seeing a child. She talked about how sharing problems can reduce the pain in oneself. That is also a good attempt. I really appreciate Toastmaster Vandana that even if she did not understand the picture, she did not lose hope. She continued talking. And I would not say that, you go and learn more about the picture composition, because eventually picture composition is not going to come in the Toastmasters contest. The only thing that I would like to tell Toastmaster Vandana, again, the same thing that I told to Shashwat, was take a small pause. Think about the content that you're going to speak. This will eradicate the small filler words that you use, the useless pauses that you have had. So, since Vandana, you are going to the meeting, you're practicing TTM, so you need to work keeping the contest in mind. This is for each one of you. Now, coming back to Toastmaster Shruti. Shruti understood Sardar Udham Singh. She talked about Jallianwala Bagh story. She was very, how should I say, high on energy, aggressive speaker. Very good thing about a speaker. One problem that I found from the tech master, that is each time a table topic speaker comes, you need to spotlight him or her. Sometimes what happens is when the screen is going on and off, the audience loses the interest from the speaker. So that is for the tech master. Now coming back to the speakers, Toastmaster Shruti. There would be people who knew the story of Jallianwala Bagh. What is the takeaway that you're giving to the audience? It was not just about speaking about the picture, not just about telling the story, but also telling something that people can take the inspiration from. Okay, Jallianwala Bagh is a concept in history. People know about it, but how is it going to correlate with the present situation? That kind of takeaway was missing. So you need to work on those skills as well. Then comes the last speaker, that was Toastmaster Pramatesh. Toastmaster Pramatesh understood the movie Lagan, and he said one line that is very good: fight back without breaking the law. He talked about how Lagan was based on Gandhi's ideology. Toastmaster Pramatesh, I see you in different meetings. I understand you are some problem of stammering, but you really need to push yourself more so that you do not go casual in the table topic speeches. I understand people become emotional. They want to tell everything. And he talked about how people can sit at their home, enjoy the holidays, still understand the value of the independence. I understand it. But it is a Toastmasters meeting. We cannot go casual. So you need to have a definite story. Even if you're stammering, you are having pauses, have an introduction, then body and conclusion, and a takeaway for the audience. So I also told some of the few points for the table topic master and the tech master. These are my understanding for the table topic contest. Table topic section. Back to the general evaluator, Toastmaster Abhinav.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Vandita. So with this, please give a huge round of applause to Toastmaster Vandita. And she deserves the maximum round of applause because she had evaluated maximum number of people in a shortest span of time. Kudos, great work done, Toastmaster Vandita. Now let's move on to the second part, the second
Master Abhinav, you are starting.
By the time he joins, I think we can go ahead with the
which
timer.
will
Our
evaluate the speeches. That is the study.
Distinguished Toastmaster Abhinav, are you there?
Toastmaster Abhinav, you can try switching off the video so that you get efficient bandwidth. Also, we all can switch off the video so that he gets bandwidth, if that's possible.
Can we hear Abhinav?
Yes, I think I have got
Yes.
some problem at my end because yes, I'm traveling, so I'm doing some arrangement. Yes, am I audible to you?
Yes, you're audible. Perfect.
I'm sorry for the experience that has come in, but yes, please help me welcome Toastmaster Anupam. Can you unmute yourself? Toastmaster Anupam.
So,
Yes. So he is the language validator for the day. Please give him a huge round of applause, and stage is all yours, Toastmaster Anupam.
share my report. For prepared speech section, Toastmaster Rupesh has 1 repetition. Toastmaster Munish has multiple repetition and few filler sound uses. At table topic section, Toastmaster Brijesh has used multiple filler sounds. Toastmaster Jay has used few filler sounds and few repetitions. Toastmaster Vandana has used few filler sounds. Toastmaster Abhinav has used few filler sounds. Toastmaster Prathamesh has used multiple filler sounds and 1 repetition. And in the evaluation section, Toastmaster Vandana has used few filler sounds and 1 repetition. Toastmaster Anurag has used few filler sounds and in the table topic master, TM Saroj has used few filler sounds. Some of the good uses of English are here. Thank you, General Evaluator, sir. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster. Anupam, let's hear from the. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, now you are.
So let's hear from the active listener for the day. Actually, we are not going to listen. She is going to listen us and check us how good we are. So please help me welcome Toastmaster Savarni with a thunderous round of applause.
Hello, everybody. So today, as an active listener, I am going to ask you some questions. So like at the first of the meeting, we had Yashwini with us. Where does she live?
Indore.
Yes. Our TMOD Shalu has which profession?
CA, Chartered Accountant.
Yeah. At the start of the meeting, I shared one quote. Whose quote it was?
Mahatma Gandhi.
Subhash
Bal
Chandra Bose.
Gangadhar Tilak.
Bal Gangadhar Tilak, yes. This is one of the question from the meeting. Where did Netaji formed his troop?
Japan.
Singapore.
Yes, Southeast Asia. Okay. And our Toastmaster Rupesh has been in Toastmaster for how many years?
4.
Yeah. Okay. In his speech, he has spoke about one name, Arun Khetrapal. What award did he get?
For Amrit Chakra.
Yeah. Okay. My last question is Shahid-e-Azam, whose title is it?
Bhagat Singh, Shahid Bhagat Singh.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, that's all for the question. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Sabani. Okay, so now we have done with the first round of evaluation. That was the prepared speeches or the dedicated evaluation. Then we have done the specialized evaluation round. And when we are doing it, it is most important to be on the time. So let's hear from the timer how good we were on that parameter. So please help me welcome Toastmaster Shruti, who was the timer of the day. And it is always pleasure to call her during the meeting, during the day, because of the theme that we are having. Over to you, Toastmaster Shruti Bhartiya.
Thank you, General Evaluator, sir. This meeting was full of elation for me. So the report goes as follows. Just a minute. So for the prepared speech section, Toastmaster Rupesh took 7 minutes 19 seconds. Toastmaster Munish took 10 minutes 34 seconds. So Toastmaster Rupesh qualifies for the voting. For the table topic section, Toastmaster Shashwat took 2 minutes 4 seconds. Toastmaster Brajesh took 2 minutes 25 seconds. Toastmaster Jay took 2 minutes 22 seconds. Toastmaster Rupesh took 2 minutes 5 seconds. Toastmaster Vandana took 1 minute 50 seconds. Toastmaster Shruti took 2 minutes 13 seconds. Toastmaster Abhinav took 2 minutes 21 seconds. Toastmaster Pramathesh took 1 minute 45 seconds. So all of them qualify for the voting. Now for the evaluation section, Toastmaster guess it's Vandana. Toastmaster Vandana took 3 minutes 22 seconds. Toastmaster Anurag took 3 minutes 37 seconds. And Toastmaster Vandita, our table topic evaluator, took 8 minutes 11 seconds. So Toastmaster, our first evaluator qualifies for voting. Thank you, and over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Shruti. So we all have done the all round of evaluations which are there. Now it is a time for all those people to bring a smile on your face who were getting evaluated, right? Now it is a time when I'm going to evaluate the evaluators and the complete session. And yes, I can see the smiles on the faces. So if you have heard the good things, yes, it is good. But if you have heard something, you are not happy with your evaluator, now it is a time. This is what we are going to talk about. Okay, so coming on to the serious point, first of all, let's start with the meeting. One thing is very clearly throughout the meeting is the theme. We all are having a beautiful background. for all of us with the Indian tricolor flag. The point I'm making is the amount of preparation which has gone for conducting this session is really very high. And it was clear from the background. It is also clear from the table topic master to whom someone would have connected and made sure that we are sticking to the themes. And it was icing on the cake when we saw the speaker coming in the dresses, which are very much relatable. And I'm really thankful, Dr. Rupesh, that you have taken up that step on this particular day. You have set up a total tune of this meeting, and I'm really proud to be part of this meeting. So from the beginning, we had the national anthem. So that was again lot of takeaways, lot of wonderful memories has been created by the TMOD. Apart from that, we had beautiful saros and beautiful shalu who were specially dressed up for the occasion. Apart from Toastmaster Dr. Rupesh, I'm not dressed up. I'm in a t-shirt. But yes, you guys were really looking beautiful and gorgeous for the session. I love the transitions when in the beginning Toastmaster Anurag has made it to the Toastmaster Shalu. You have set up the tone of the meeting very wonderfully. Like, so the tone was set. One thing which I think could have been improved is the introduction of the Toastmasters history. What are the paths? What are things are there? It might not be relevant for the regular members, but whenever any guest is coming, because we had some few guests, they do not know what exactly is Toastmasters, how reputed this organization is, and what are the possibilities. They want to know about Toastmasters. And if we are having the guests, and if we stay here beyond the meeting, we will have all those obvious questions which they are seeking the answers for the meeting, right? So that could have been included. Like, we are 100+ year organization. Apart from that, I loved the demonstration which was done by the timer, which has clearly shown like these kind of things are going to come when someone will be speaking. However, it to me, sometimes it sounded like an interruption when the flashes were coming, but because of the demonstration, we were totally aligned with that kind of intervention during that. Right. And then I have seen the immediate use of word of the day throughout the meeting, and I really loved it. And we Anurag had used that word that I'm elated to be his evaluator for the for the prepared speaker. So that was very beautiful, very beautiful to me. Like, using the word of the day to motivate the speaker was phenomenal. One suggestion is there: whenever we know that our speech is going to extend the time limit, we can always approach our VP education and share what is the expected time for which you could have prepared for the speeches, because Toastmasters is a self-paced program, right? So if the point is to prepare yourself for the speeches, and whatever time is there, mention that and try to limit your speech up to that time. We had some issues with the spotlighting of the speakers or the people. We can improve on to that with a better screen sharing. These are technology issues, not the Toastmaster issues, but with that, the session can be a little better. I saw wonderful teamwork on this day when timer wanted to participate and someone has volunteered and take up the charge. Very beautiful. Generally, typically what happens, timers remain out of the session. A good teamwork was there. Then during that session, someone was asking whether I should continue with this. Not someone, actually the table topic master was asking, can I have 2 more topics or 3 more topics? And everyone was silent. It is the job of TMOD to make sure that session runs on the time, to cut off the things and to add on the things, right? Obviously, you cannot cut off my section. I can take as much time as I want. But yes, as a TMOD, you are responsible to answer that question of the table topic master. Then coming to the evaluators who have evaluated, Toastmaster Vandana has used the CRC approach. She had summarized the speeches, so totally a good show which was given. But if, in my personal opinion, a better recommendations could have been given to the speakers for which a speaker has presented. And you have given the references as well when you were saying the good things, like you have used the voice modulation when brother was saying something. So similarly, when you are giving a recommendation, you should exactly share where you found the problem with the backdrop of the speaker, right? So those kind of things will add the authenticity, and it would not come out as a general problem which you have said, like you can be better or you can do something like that. So my recommendation is you can go for more evaluation sections, evaluation speeches, and aim for the participating in the contests as well, which comes for the clubs level in the speeches. Then Toastmaster Anurag, you have done a wonderful work with the CRC approaches, with the counted recommendations which you are giving to the speaker. you have made the summary. The one thing which you can add is to have a smile on your face when you're giving those recommendation, and to have empathy with the speaker who was hearing it out. Then Toastmaster Vandita, she had a big task of evaluating so many people and to make sure that CRC is there. So a very well way of doing the job we have seen when Toastmaster Vandita was saying. Maybe she could have said a little more about the second last speaker who was Toastmaster Abhinav, and can say like he was a little better, and like I would not have mind that, right? The point I was making is to bring a smile when you are giving the evaluation, because the points were too good, but if they will come with an empathy, it could have make a larger impact to the speakers who were taking that point. So that was one takeaway I would like to add on Toastmaster Vandita. Apart from that, you have addressed all the tech issues which were coming onto the timer card. So wonderfully done. Then we have moved on to the specialized evaluators. So Toastmaster Anupam, you have shared your computer screen. So a lot of hard work was happening behind the scenes, and it was quite evident the moment you have shared with the conditional formatting and so many things. I was totally amazed over that. One thing is, when you were giving the counts, how many hours were used, you can also give the way by which someone can improve. Like you should speak slowly if you are using too many in the speeches. So those kind of improvement suggestions should also be given instead of just counts which were shared. Or maybe you would have shared. I got disconnected. Like I'm not very sure whether you have highlighted the word, how many times we have used the word of the day, because I was dropped out. So I'm not sure whether you have given that information or not. Then Toastmaster Savarni, you have done a beautiful job. Everything was like you were asking the questions which are also from the introductions of the speakers. So you made sure that we are not only listening to the speeches which are there, but the introduction which is coming. So wonderfully you have done the job. One thing is, again, a little bit of smile could have been made the show memorable. And I'm not very sure what innovation can be done at that point of active listening, because we do not have the actual gifts to give to the people who are answering the questions, like chocolates or goodies or something. But maybe some innovation can be done, just opening a thought towards it. In the end, we had the session from TM Shruti. She had absolutely answered like these are the timings, these many people have qualified for voting or not. One of the recommendation is, I'm not very sure whether we are having the voting rounds or not. If we are having it, then the sessions make sense. So have that clarity beforehand if we are having the votings or not. With this, I hope the team of evaluators have done justice to their roles, and I'm really glad you all have come up and taken up the opportunity and given up very valuable feedback to all the people who have spoken for the day. Thank you very much for being in my time, and to all the speakers for coming up and taking up the show, and special thanks to the TMOD who has maintained the rhythm. And now it is a time to give stage back to the TMOD of the day. Thank you, Toastmaster Shah.
Wonderful DTM Abhinav. Was a great session with you. Now we have come to the end of the session. But before that, I would like to tell you only one thing. As freedom was not free that time, and we can't forget the contribution of our freedom fighter, freedom is not free today yet. We all must remember that we are an Indian and we have every right in this country, but with certain duties. When our country will need us, we will not back out. If you are agree with me, please show me a thumbs up. My dear friends, to summarize my ending, I want to sing two lines for you. दिल दिया है जान भी देंगे ऐ वतन तेरे लिए हर करम अपना करेंगे हर करम अपना करेंगे ऐ वतन तेरे लिए दिल दिया है जान भी देंगे ऐ वतन तेरे लिए. My dear friends, I hope you enjoyed the session with me. Now the time to hand over the stage to our President, Toastmaster Anurag, to take over the charge of meeting. Toastmaster Anurag, please take over the in charge of the meeting.
Thank you, our wonderful Toastmaster of the day. Can we have a huge round of applause for Toastmaster Shalu for conducting such a wonderful session? Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Shalu. I think the voting link has been circulated and it is working fine. At least I have voted. I hope everyone in the house has voted for the best table topic speaker, best category role players. Now, before I receive the results from our Sergeant at Arms, I would like to acknowledge the presence of some of the district dignitaries once again, because previously I couldn't do it properly. So we have our Division D Director, Toastmaster Vandita, joining us. So thank you, Toastmaster Vandita, for being with us. Any few words that you would like to share? Yes. So how did you like the meeting? I hope you enjoyed the meeting.
I enjoyed the meeting. I love how dedicated each one of you is. And the best example is the virtual background. Another thing that I would like to say is I love Toastmaster Shruti. She had done a great job. I rarely see TMODs. Sorry, Toastmaster Shalu. I rarely see TMOD working, especially myself. We just wake up on the day of the meeting, switch on the laptop, sit on the Zoom meeting, and then blabber anything you want. No, she was really prepared. One thing that I would like to say on the note of independence, because I didn't get to speak on this, it has been always been emotional. I have always been the child who has gone in the school, seen the flag hoisting. Out of the 10 students in the class who were present, I used to be one of them. I have really respected what you have got. The only thing I would want to see, because it saddens me to see that our government of India has worked really hard. Even if you like it or not, they have built the toilets, they have built the infrastructure. Every government of India, not just the president, every government of India has worked hard. It is us who don't respect it, who dirty it, who destroy it, who pay no attention to it. Let's start understanding the value of our taxes. I really put money in greatest regard because it comes with a lot of hard work. And my arms, my sweat, my energy is very valuable. So I'm going to respect the public property. And I hope everyone instills this feeling because, we are not going to the war, but the war is today that we stop people from destroying it and we ourselves take care of it. For example, if there is the road at your house, do not throw your garbage out there. If there is a toilet in the railway station or in the train, do not dirty it, use it properly. And ask other people to do that. Same. It's high time we understand the climate change and our country. That's it. Back to Toastmaster Anurag.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vandita, for sharing such a wonderful message with all of us. That could have come only from a district leader in the house. Next, I would also like to acknowledge the presence of our Division J Director, Toastmaster Krishnesh. Can I ask Toastmaster Krishnesh to please share a few words?
It's correct that you will get most inspiring messages, but it doesn't come from all district leaders. Only some like Vandita can do it. I am not in that category. So I'm just happy that I'm here and home club of the division director. So I'm glad I got to hear such nice words from visiting leaders and club members from far away say such nice things about the club. I'm really happy about that. Keep up the good work, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Krishnesh. I would also like to acknowledge the presence of our area director of area J2, Toastmaster Shashwat. So Toastmaster Shashwat, can we hear a bit from you?
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Anurag. So I would just like to congratulate both the clubs for imbibing the spirit of Independence Day. Now, I apologize for the background noise. I happen to be in another Toastmasters meeting. So that is why you cannot keep Toastmasters silent. That is why there is so much background noise. But I would like to congratulate. Okay, everyone, please keep quiet. Okay, so I'm back. So I would just like to say that I would like to congratulate both the clubs, the club from Noida and from Kolkata, because the spirit of independence is the spirit of unity, and to have two clubs from diverse geographical regions coming together in unison for celebrating this particular occasion is something that is really commendable. So congratulations to both the clubs and all the very best.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shashwat, for your kind words. Last but not the least, we also have our Associate Club Growth Director of District 41 and Associate Program Quality Director of SLP 2022, Distinguished Toastmaster Abhinav Bhardwaj, who has been a very, very generous general evaluator for the day. Can we hear a bit of words from you?
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Anurag, and I will take care of your feedback when I will be evaluating next time, so that I take care of this generous word in a right manner. Okay, so jokes apart, I love the energy which has put in by both the clubs, and you both have come together, and especially the energy which has brought by Shashwat at the end moment, that he has made the fusion of almost 3 club meetings together. Right, so it was a wonderful session which we have seen today. Uh, the joint meetings is so phenomenal and so lovable to me that we get the taste of 2 cultures of the meeting. Like personally, I loved the language evaluator which is there. It is going to stay with me forever. So I love that particular part, and I love and I personally appreciate the efforts which were made by both the ECs of both the clubs to come up together onto this platform, and to all the district officers who have come and joined this meeting and made this meeting a little more successful in terms of a joint meeting could have been. So thank you very much to all the role players, to all the club members, to all the EC members, and to all the district leaders to make it a meeting, a memorable one, and especially to the role players who have dressed in such a wonderful way and made that everything is connected through the team. Thank you very much. I'm
और
honored
इसी
to
के
be
साथ टोस्टमास्टर अभिनव पेटीएम करते हुए
Okay, so I won't comment on it any further. So my role as a president restricts me for certain things. Now, can I also ask everyone to please come on the screen so that we can take a group picture? So can I have Shruti, Shashwat, Saborni, Jay, Ayush, Brijesh, Anupam, Ayush, Anupam, Shashwat. Come on, Shashwat, so that I can. We also, sorry, in the double picture that Toastmaster Shalu has, we have our Club Growth Director of Division R, Toastmaster Sheetal. So last person to be acknowledged. Thank you, Toastmaster Sheetal, for joining in. And I'm taking a picture right now. So can we have a V, something, smile, big smile.
Division
1,
J.
2, 3. Thank you, guys. I've taken the picture. And time for some of the results. So in the category of Toastmaster of the Day, Table Topic Master and General Evaluator, the award goes to none other than Distinguished Toastmaster Abhinav Bhardwaj. Can we have a huge round of applause for him?
Yes. Thank you.
In the category of Timer, Language Evaluator and Active Listener, it was our active listener Toastmaster Saborni. Can we have a huge round of applause for her? Next, in the category of Table Topic Speakers, we have our Toastmaster Shashwat and Toastmaster Rupesh. Can we have a huge round of applause for them? Thank you everyone for joining in, and unfortunate it is that the speakers got disqualified and evaluator, I myself got disqualified. But anyways, we'll keep on improving and coming back stronger. Until next time we meet, same time, even for Noida, Central Noida Toastmasters Club, I think they meet every Saturday 4 p.m. So same time, same place. See you until then.
Bye. See
Bye.
you. Happy Independence Day. Jai Hind.
Happy Independence
Day. Bye-bye.